Welcome to CTS 220, Cyber Safety Lesson 4. In this session, we'll walk through how organizations prepare for, detect, respond to, and recover from cybersecurity incidents, and how documentation plays a key role throughout the process. Before we jump in, take a moment to think, how much do you already know about how companies handle security incidents? Have you ever wondered what steps are taken when a breach occurs, or who's responsible for making sure it's resolved? This lesson will fill in those gaps. In this lesson, we're going to cover the full life cycle of responding to security incidents. You'll learn about the phases of an incident response plan, how logs are used for detection and investigation, and why documentation matters during and after a breach. We'll also explore the role of SIM systems, those powerful tools that help spot suspicious activity across networks. Let's talk about cybersecurity incident response, often shortened to IR. At its core, incident response is a well-organized game plan that organizations use when something goes wrong, like a cyber attack or data breach. It's not just about reacting, it's about responding strategically. Think of it like emergency services. If there's a fire, you don't just grab a bucket of water and hope for the best. You call the fire department, follow evacuation procedures, and rely on trained professionals who know exactly what to do. That's what IR is for cybersecurity. It's the fire department for your digital environment. Incident response is all about limiting the damage, fixing the problem, and getting things back to normal as quickly and safely as possible. This process is especially important because threats can come from anywhere: malware, phishing, insider misuse, or even misconfigurations that leave systems exposed. So when you hear incident response, think prepare, respond, recover, and learn. That's the foundation of a strong cybersecurity strategy. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, provides a reliable framework for incident response. This life cycle helps organizations consistently detect, respond to, and recover from attacks. Following these phases ensures a well-coordinated and effective approach to any cyber incident. The ultimate goal is to minimize impact, reduce downtime, and make sure it doesn't happen again. Preparation is like packing your emergency kit before a storm hits. The first phase is all about being ready before anything bad happens. That means having an incident response policy, training your team, and running simulations. Tools like antivirus software, SIM systems, and response playbooks are essential here. Antivirus software is your frontline defense that constantly scans for threats. SIM systems gather data across the entire network to spot patterns and red flags. Response playbooks are your emergency manuals that tell us what to do if something goes wrong. The more prepared you are, the faster you can act when something happens. Once an incident is detected, it's time to isolate it. This is containment. You stop it from spreading further. Then, you eliminate the cause, like deleting malware or closing a vulnerability. Finally, you restore the system to normal, using clean backups, and keep a close eye for any signs of reinfection. The goal is to recover safely and completely. So, the crisis is over. The malware is gone. The systems are back online, and users are logging in again. Great, right? Well, not quite yet. Just because the incident has been contained doesn't mean the work is done. Welcome to the post-incident activity phase. This is where the real learning happens. Think of it like this. If a sports team loses a game, what do they do afterward? They watch the game footage, review what went wrong, and figure out how to do better next time. That's exactly what this phase is all about. First, you should have a lessons learned meeting. This is where the team that handled the incident comes together to talk through the timeline. Everyone shares their insights so the organization can improve its response for future incidents. Next, document everything. A detailed report should include what the incident was, how it was discovered, who was involved, the steps taken to contain and fix it, and what the outcomes were. This becomes an official record, which is useful for compliance, legal investigations, audits, and training. Then, update your incident response plan. If the incident revealed weaknesses, like a slow response time or missing log data, it's time to revise your policies and procedures. Train your staff. If the incident happened because of a phishing email, that's a sign your users need more cybersecurity awareness training. The best way to reduce future incidents is to make sure everyone understands the risks and their role in prevention. And finally, use the experience to improve your overall cybersecurity posture. That might mean investing in automation, adding new security controls, or even restructuring your IR team based on what you learned. The post-incident phase turns a bad situation into a learning opportunity. It helps organizations bounce back stronger, smarter, and better prepared for the next challenge. Logs are like the black boxes of cybersecurity. They record who did what, when, and where. Whether it's failed login attempts, strange network traffic, or unexpected system reboots, logs give you a trail to follow when investigating incidents. They also help organizations stay compliant with regulations. Imagine trying to track security logs from dozens or even hundreds of devices manually. That's where SIM systems come in. SIM, or Security Information and Event Management, collects logs from all over your network and puts them in one place. This makes it easier to detect threats, investigate incidents, and prove compliance. A SIM system gathers data from various endpoints, like servers, firewalls, apps, and analyzes that data for signs of suspicious activity. It looks for patterns, flags unusual behavior, and alerts the security team when something's off. Think of it as your cybersecurity command center. Let's talk about one of the key ways SIM systems gather information: agent-based log collection. Imagine you're trying to monitor dozens, or even hundreds, of devices in a network. You need a way to collect all the security data from each machine. And agent-based collection does just that. An agent is a lightweight software program that you install directly on the endpoint, like a server, desktop, or laptop. Once it's installed, it quietly runs in the background, watching for events like login attempts, file changes, system crashes, or unusual network activity. Then it sends that information to the SIM system for analysis. It's great for detailed logging and offline support, but it requires maintenance and can slow down systems if not managed well. Here's a real-world example. Let's say your company uses Windows servers. You might install an agent like WinLogBeat, which is designed to collect Windows event logs and forward them to tools like ElasticSIM. You now have a reliable stream of data coming from each server that can be used to detect things like failed logins, privilege escalations, or suspicious file access, all in real time. Now let's look at the other major way SIM systems collect log data: agentless collection. If agent-based collection is like installing a camera in every room, then agentless collection is more like checking all the security cameras from the control room, without stepping into each room yourself. Agentless means there's no software installed on the endpoints. Instead, the SIM system, or sometimes a separate log server, reaches out remotely to collect logs using built-in features or protocols that the device already supports. One of the most common protocols for this is syslog. If you've worked with Linux systems, routers, or firewalls, you've probably seen it. These devices can send logs automatically to a centralized location without any extra software. This approach is easy to scale. If you're managing hundreds or thousands of devices, you don't want to install software on every single one. Agentless collection is cleaner. It works right out of the box on many systems. It's also easier to maintain because there's no agent software to patch, update, or troubleshoot. One of the downsides is that agentless collections can miss important logs. It depends on what the system is willing to share, and that might be limited. Also, if a device is turned off or disconnected from the network, the SIM can't collect its data. There's no local caching like with agents. And there's a security risk to think about. Because the SIM has to remotely access each device, there's a chance that someone could try to intercept that data or spoof it. So it's important to use encrypted protocols and proper access controls. SIM systems, or a central log server, connect to devices across your network, servers, routers, switches, even cloud services, and pull logs using standard protocols. These logs come in different formats, like syslog or JSON. Whether they're collected in real time or in batches, the goal is to get a full picture of what's happening across your environment. There are benefits to agentless collection, like no extra software required, easier to manage at scale, and it won't slow down your endpoints. It's especially useful for devices like printers, switches, and routers that often don't support agent software anyway. There are trade-offs to agentless collection, like less detailed logs and security concerns with remote access and encryption. The goal is to build a logging strategy that covers all your endpoints without overwhelming your network or your IT team. SIMs connect the dots between different logs to spot suspicious activity, stuff that might not look like a big deal on its own, but becomes a red flag when you see the whole pattern. Sometimes one log doesn't tell the whole story. SIMs shine when they combine multiple events, like a successful login followed by massive file downloads. These correlations reveal suspicious patterns that would be hard to spot otherwise. Threshold alerts go off when activity crosses a set limit. For example, too many failed logins in a short time might signal a brute force attack. These alerts help catch unusual behavior that doesn't match normal patterns. SIMs also look for known threats, like malware signatures or blacklisted IPs. By integrating with threat intelligence feeds, SIMs can spot known bad actors and alert security teams immediately. It's like having a constantly updated watch list. An alert goes off when something crosses a set limit, what we call a threshold. Threshold alerts help you spot odd behavior. Known threat alerts catch specific, already identified risks. Together, they provide a more complete defense, helping you react quickly before damage spreads. Known threat alerts happen when a SIM spots something that matches a pattern it already knows is bad, like a flagged IP address, a malware file, or a suspicious website. These alerts are possible because SIMs stay updated with threat intelligence feeds, kind of like a constantly refreshed most wanted list of cyber threats. Threshold alerts help spot unusual behavior, while known threat alerts flag stuff we already know is dangerous. When you use both, your security team has a better chance of catching attacks early and jumping into action quickly. Let's say a user logs in at 3 a.m. from a different country, then downloads 5 gigabytes of data. That triggers 3 alerts: a threshold alert for the large transfer, a behavioral alert for the unusual time and location, and a known threat alert if the IP is flagged. This layered detection helps analysts respond faster and smarter. SIMs don't just detect threats, they help organizations stay compliant, analyze patterns faster, and scale up to handle huge amounts of data. If you're managing a complex environment, a SIM is essential for staying ahead of potential attacks. Good documentation is your best friend in a crisis. It helps with compliance, supports investigations, and can even be used as evidence. Keep track of what happened, who was affected, how it was detected, and how you responded. This not only helps resolve the current issue, but also improves your response in the future. Recovery starts with verifying that your systems are clean and working properly. Restore from known good backups and monitor systems as you reconnect them. Afterward, review what happened, update your risk assessments, and train staff on the lessons learned. This is how you turn a bad experience into a better defense. Now that you've completed this lesson, take another moment to reflect. How much more confident are you in your understanding of incident response? Whether you're managing logs, writing incident reports, or setting up alerts in a SIM, you're now better equipped to protect your systems. Thank you for learning with us, and let's keep our systems secure.